Hey guys, Rob out here, and ImAlwaysInHotWater.com on a Friday. Trying to get you guys one last boat loaded up, so possibly I might be able to go fishing this weekend, but we will see. Anyway, what we're going to do out here today is walk you through a 2010 Bay Reef 196 Key West 196 Bay Reef with a Yamaha 150 4-stroke, 136 hours, full service done at 130 hours, might even been 132 hours. Seller has upsized to a bigger boat, so this one pretty much has to go. Now, let me be clear. I'm not a surveyor. I'm not a mechanic. I'm giving you guys the tire kicker walkthrough as to avoid that whole thing, to give you guys a better look than most will do with an honest assessment of the boat, the best I can. Now, keep in mind, especially on this vessel, advanced scheduling would be required. Generally, a deposit with an offer sheet would be required. This boat's about 45 minutes from me, and I have limited access. In fact, on the weekends, I have no access unless there is planning in place. Now, once we get to that point, sea trial and everything else is easy to do. But keep in mind, take a look through the video, go nice and slow. One of the cameras will be a little fuzzier when I take the shakiness out of editing, but I'm doing my best I can here to give you guys the walkthrough that you would do, and I can supplement your answers with any questions, supplement your questions with answers. So that's what I do here. I have 50, 60 boats all over the place, and scheduling everybody to tire kick boats isn't going to work for me. So here's your video. I'm not trying to be rude, but I'm going to do the best I can to give you a little bit longer video. So here we go. Trailer, decent shape. I have no complaints. 2010 trailer, torsion axle, tires are in nice shape, and bearings are greased, bunks are in good shape. Brackets will have basically the deterioration that you would have at this point in its salt life. Honestly, at 130 hours, it really isn't anything you need to be worried about, or I would be concerned about in the near immediate future. The 150 4-stroke just serviced, including water pump, at 130 hours at the end of last season, basically November-ish, and she's only had 6 hours on her since then. And props in nice shape. I have pictures up on the engine itself, and I couldn't tell if that engine had 1 hour on it or 130 hours on it, to be honest. I do want to cover something real quick so I don't forget. Forward cushions with the boat are in decent shape, although you have some rust staining on the one. I really didn't try and clean it up. It could be sap. And actually a bimini with this particular vessel that has barely been touched. Reason being is this is an aftermarket Striker T-top that is also collapsible. So you really don't have any need for the bimini. But in case you want to remove the T-top, sell the T-top, go to a bimini, however you want to do it, that's a big upgrade there. And the seller, that's what he wanted to do, and it has an effective performance from when the bimini was on it to that. In fact, that T-top is to spec. As far as the exterior of the vessel goes, I do not have any complaints. She'd probably be due for a detail at the end of the season, but I still see a luster. Looks like boat wax has been being used. Maybe a couple of nicks or scratches here and there, rub rail, but nothing that you would walk up to and it would be a deal breaker for a 7-year-old vessel. Overall, as I walk through, I've been through the boat. She's clean, she's solid. You got a little decal, couple little decals going, and also she could use a little bit of bottom cleaner to get her up to speed. So overall, solid, clean, and you're good to go there. As we've discussed, the T-top, nice shape, no issues there, no, nothing but a little bit of cleaner and you're good. Let me pop up on the other side so I can clean my feet. I did just give it a little bit of a scrubbing. After that pollen, it gets into everything. As you guys can see, 2 fishing chairs mounted that come with the boat. You can move one either port or starboard and actually go forward as well. Now let's just go forward. Forward of the vessel, I've been through the boat as far as decking goes. No soft spots, no stress cracking, nothing really cosmetic to complain about. Hinges appear to be in all good shape. She could use a little better cleaning than I gave her. You're set up for a trolling motor forward. I did not get to check the nav and the anchor lights. The poles are with the seller, but I am told that they work. And also, I have been through every function on the boat. I hear the live well coming on, and I also hear the raw water pump coming on, which is actually right here. Now, that raw water pump looks pretty deteriorated, but she is kicking on. She's working as of right now, although I hear her, I'm not in the water. I will give you my advice on a I'm getting it dirty. On a 7-year-old vessel, there's probably the original live well and the original raw water pump. Spend a couple bucks and just update them. Or use them for the season and go from there. Alright, so just kind of keep that in mind. That would be my recommendation. It's what I do on all my boats. Alright. Forward storage locker, pretty clean. Forward live well, the same. Actually, that'd probably just be an aerator. Yes. Live wells in the back. 2 tackle areas, 3 boxes each. Forward cushion's got a little bit of staining on it, but overall the cooler and the cushion are in nice shape. No rips, no tears. On the seat back cushion, you do have a little bit of sun fade in there, but it's a clean, solid, soft, cushy cushion, and you know, that's about it as far as cosmetic goes. You got your rod holders on each side of the center console. Remember, this boat designed for bimini only. I think those would probably still work pretty good, and in fact, I kind of like it because my kids tend to walk into them, so you do got this here protecting it. I do like that the T-top is collapsible for those guys that want to maybe tuck this in the garage for the season. So that's kind of nice. The reversible seat back and helm cushion and cooler are in real nice shape. No rips, no tears, pretty clean. And I have no complaints there, as you guys can see. Overall, just a super clean boat. Anchor pole is going to come with it. Let's just take a look at the live well. Pretty big live well in here. That's got to be at least 60 gallons. And I'm told that it's working. I hear it working, but I'm not on the water. As well as the bilge, I hear it working, but I am also not on the water. Fishing chairs are in great shape. I did check through. Primabulb is still viable. I haven't seen any leaks on seals. Trim motor appears to be working well. Everything seems to be just in the shape that you would expect. And battery area could use to be cleaned up. You actually have 2 interstates with a dual Perco, and from what I understand, those were updated last year. Okay, so you should be good to go there. And as far as, pop this thing up, on the helm, up here in the striker box, this key is starting to deteriorate. It's been left in. That's actually how you open and close. You might want to replace that setting in there at some point. You see that key is about to go, and this is kind of getting a little harder to turn, so grease it up or do something. And up on the helm, you got a GPS map, 541S, your compass, Yamaha tacks are looking good. No fading, no deterioration, no cracks. And you see there 136 hours trying to get both cameras on it. As you guys can hear, the Jensen is working. No problems there. I think those are newer speakers and a newer stereo. And I've been through the functions here. In fact, let's just check quart lights real quick. Quart light, port light. Starboard is not working. Could be probably just a bulb. Or let me kick it. No, it didn't do it. All right, so your quart lights, you might need a bulb there. That will about cover it as far as that goes. Like I said, I didn't get a chance to check the nav or anchor light. I'm going to assume they'll work. They use the vessel at night. I was told this is set up for an iPod thingy. You know, the cords, he said, is starting to get a little deteriorated. You might want to replace that if that is what you do on the water. So overall, very nice vessel, appropriately priced, extremely low hours, serviced and ready. You'd probably just clean it up, even though really she doesn't need much. And I think long term, my only predictions really here are possibly, you know, your standard interchangeable pumps. I like my raw water to keep my deck clean. So at some point, or immediately replace that. Live well if you need it. Bilge pump is working. That's an easy fix as well. So all things in working condition, except one quart light from what I can see. Cosmetically, we're in real nice shape. Over by the Air Force Base. So hopefully this does it for you. I got some pictures up on the side. I'll have the specs. Oh yeah, I did want to make a note. The cushions, albeit in nice shape, you're gonna get a snap kit. You got probably 1, 2, 3, 4, probably about 8 or 9 broken snaps. Now the cushion, you just re-snap snaps. You're good up on the deck, but you will need to do some snaps. Now for most of you guys that are gonna get this boat, you're not even gonna have the cushions on the boat anyway because you're gonna be fishing. And but if you do go out with the kids on a particular day, you might want to get into that. So that will be about it. Hopefully I didn't get too negative with it, but I think she's a clean boat. Solid, low hours, turnkey, ready for the water. Small deposit will hold this vessel. Reasonable offers may be considered. Clean titles, no lien on the boat, taxes paid up to date. So anyway, Rob out here at ImAlwaysInHotWater.com. Let me just peek real quick here, up in here. All right, you can see, yeah, that's not bad. You're starting to get a little deterioration on the rust on that torsion axle, but I don't think it's anything you're gonna have to deal with anytime soon. So I just kind of caught that out of the corner of my eye, but I do want to note it. You'll be fine. So anyway, Rob at ImAlwaysInHotWater.com. Hoping that walkthrough worked out. I got the GoPro on the head for the HD, the SD version. I'll try and take out the shakiness in editing. Sometimes the first few people that see it get a little seasick. So anyway, I'm going to sign off right now, go return this boat, and I'm going to wish you guys a great and safe boating day.